Greetings, our wonderful viewers. Thank you so much for taking your time and making sure that you kind of follow us on this dynamic show titled Step Up to Stand Out, Becoming a Force that can't be ignored. As you know that in our show, we kind of unpack the kind of leaders that we have here in South Africa. I mean, Pela here, Mzansi. And today I'm not alone in this show. I'm co-hosting with my gorgeous, beautiful lady, the CEO of Ladies in Heels herself. Welcome, Murungwe.
And yes, we are not alone as well. We are joined by our beautiful, brilliant sister right here, Kelly Taylor. Kelly, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me. Greetings to your lovely viewers. I'm so excited for today.
Kelly?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell us, who is Kelly?
Kelly Taylor is a child of God. She is a businesswoman. I specialize mostly in the property space. And I'm also a founder and leader of a non-profit organization called Young Wives SA. And I love women, I love girls, I love life.
You love life?
Yes.
What's the meaning of life to you, Kelly?
Your life is doing what you were meant, what you were called to do, what you were destined to do. That's for me purpose and living.
Okay, Kelly, I've seen a write-up on your T-shirt.
Yes.
Do you want to show us? Let's check it out. It's saying why? WSA, what does that stand for?
So this is Young Wives South Africa, which is the organization that I represent and lead. And then the logo says, I pull other girls up, which is our everyday motto, to strive and to do better, to actually pull other women up wherever we are. You know, I've always said that if you enter a boardroom and you find that there aren't enough women, that means you are hired to actually go and bring more women into that boardroom.
Quite interesting. What stirred you to come up with such an initiative?
You know, I think because when I grew up, I didn't have a lot of organizations that mainly looked after women and girls. And so I just, one day I had this vision that, you know, if I can't find one, why not start one? So it has been 5 years of this organization, and so far, so good.
So far, so good.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Kelly, just your organization, you talked a bit about it. And today we are obviously talking about leadership. In essence, to me, leadership is the, you know, ability to have followers, the ability to lead, you know, in its simplest form, it's influence. Okay? So how do you influence young women as Kelly?
You know, I would like to believe that I influence them, number one, by being myself. And being authentic and true to myself, because I don't think when I started, I said that, I want followers. I want people to follow what I'm doing. When I started, I'm telling you the honest truth.
Is it because you're not Jesus?
No. Yeah, when I started, for me, it was mainly to put women together, to come together and to learn from each other. You know, at Young Wives SA, if there's one thing that we pride ourselves in, it is to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. You know, there are no special voices, or there are no voices that are given platform than the others. Everybody's voice matters. So when I started, I honestly wanted to have women in one space, and we come together and we share, we learn from each other. I do have mostly wives, but also singles are welcome. Ordinary women are welcome. You know, everybody just come together. Let's learn from each other. And we have different gatherings out the year that we theme differently, so everybody's welcome. So I didn't sit and say, hey, you know what, I want people to follow me. I just wanted to create a space, and you know the saying that open up the industry.
Exactly.
So I opened up the sisterhood. That's the one way, the woman us there, like, you know what, let's come together, let's learn from each other, let's help each other wherever you are, the different types of South Africa. Let's just learn from each other and empower one another as women. So that's what the organization is about.
Kelly, let's unpack it. As a leader, I came to learn that a great leader is not afraid of controversy. You know, we are not afraid in terms of challenging the status quo. And what's your view or your take on that?
You know, I honestly think that we are not at all, because, and sometimes you don't even choose it, but you just have to always stand for what is right. You have to always do what is right. You know, I cannot just keep quiet observing something that I feel that this it's just not right. It's in me that I have to say something. I cannot just keep quiet. And so I think as leaders, we don't wake up and say, you know what, today I'm going to challenge the status quo.
Okay.
But it just happens because you have to strive to do what is right. And if you are someone who's always trying their level best to do what is right, you're not going to keep quiet if you see that this, whether it's controversial or not, but for me, I'll stand for what is right. So that's for me my strive, that I have to always do what is right.
And how do you create that in your movement?
You know, in my movement, I'm so fortunate to have such a supportive team. So I don't do this all by myself. I cannot take all the credit.
There you go.
I do have a supportive team, and we come together and we'll sit and, we'll discuss things, even if something happens within the women.
Yes.
Because you know that we're working with women and, the estrogen sometimes is too high.
Yeah.
And, things can happen. So if there is something that is, requires a leader to take action, we'll probably discuss it and we'll come up with a solution which will benefit both parties if there are any. But we will not, we try by all means not to even take sides. I think so far we've done quite well in that regard.
Good. Wow. All right. Kelly, obviously, as leaders, we are expected to do a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Lately, for the talks about, a person having the skills, having the abilities and all that.
Yeah.
But what is of utmost importance, you can have all those things,
Yeah.
but if there are no opportunities created,
Yeah.
you cannot come up and shine.
Yeah.
So in your space or your sphere, what opportunities have you created for other people?
That is such a beautiful question, and we are still growing in that regard. But one thing that I know about my organization, I can say this proudly because I lead it. It's one organization that will make you feel you are part of it. Like I said earlier, your voice matters. Your ideas matters. The role that you play matters. Everything is taken into consideration. Remember when I started, I said, if I go into a boardroom and I find that I'm the only female there, that means I'm hired to actually go and recruit other females. YWSA has done that in the past 5 years. These women have come together. They've started businesses together. They've started initiatives together. They've helped each other throughout their careers, throughout their schoolwork, throughout their parenting, their marriages. There's just so much unity that it's beautiful to watch, So I believe that it is one of those rare organizations to find where you'll find women coming together to change, the whatever that is. Well, mostly women are known for pulling each other down. But here we are raising a different narrative to say, no, we pull each other up and we live that.
Just a follow-up question. Now you've now hit a nerve.
Okay.
This narrative of women pulling each other down,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yeah.
it still persists.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
How do we make women to be comfortable with who they are? I'm comfortable with
competing.
Yes. I mean, I'm comfortable with Lady A.
Yeah.
I know what she's good at. She knows what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And I tell you, she will just, when she will be able to say, oh, okay, she's here.
Yes.
Let me carry her.
Yes.
How do we make women comfortable? How do you yourself, how do you make other women comfortable to say, I'm comfortable as Murungwi?
Yeah, so it is actually shows like the shows you have that actually preach that kind of gospel, because I personally believe it doesn't get that much exposure. It is deemed to be boring. I mean, negativity is very loud. It's there. You can feel it. It's everywhere you go. If something's negative, everybody wants to talk about it. But if something's positive and if something's good, it gets less attention, less publicity. So it is organization like YWSA that will have to change that narrative to every day talk about the positivity that women are doing, because there are so many women like us who are not threatened by another female. There are so many women that do not see Lady A as competition, but they will see her as somebody who complements you, who you can work together to accomplish this vision of this show. But if you were to come together and you are both competing, it's going to show and you're going to lose viewers and people are going to lose interest in both of in the two of you, basically. But if you work together and you change that narrative and you complement each other, it's beautiful. That energy is beautiful and it shows in your screen and it shows to the people around you as well. So I think that gospel is not preached enough, but we are trying, we are striving to actually try and get it right.
There you are. You've heard it for yourself from Kelly here, running your own lane and make sure that you flow with excellence and passion. Let's take a commercial break. Welcome back, wonderful viewers. We are still having this effective engagement with our dynamic guest here, Kelly herself. Kelly, welcome back.
Thank you.
Let's do it one more time. Kelly, I always say to people, it's good to dream, but never keep your dreaming to sleep. You know, that's actually laziness. You dream, you wake up, you work on your dream.
Right.
So you've taken us through your organization and the things that you do as Kelly. So how do you ensure that you kind of dream, but still wake up and focus on the practical side of your dreams?
So dreaming is free. Everybody's allowed to dream. It's not cost. No, we don't buy it. But dreaming alone is not enough.
Okay.
So have your dreams, but at the same time, put a plan towards your dream. Work towards achieving your dreams. It's not enough just to say that, you know what, I dream of becoming a Hollywood actress. But you don't work towards starting here in SA and becoming an actress, a damn good one for that matter. So if you are not working towards your dream, be it in business, be it in family, be it in your spiritual journey, be it in your career, it will not work. It's not enough. You need to put in the work and put in the efforts that you are required to do in order to achieve your dream. Everyone that you see around you that has achieved their dreams, make it a habit to sit down with people and say, you know what, can I just ask you a few questions?
Yeah.
They'll tell you about the hard work that they've put in. And funny enough, nobody likes to talk about those things, but there is a lot of work that goes into achieving our dreams.
I think, Kelly, it's a good season. It's the beginning of the new year. Yes. We are now directly in 2022. Yes. We don't know what people are thinking. What are their dreams? Yes. And many a times people, they have these things that they are preparing for the new year, you know, their new goals and everything. Yes. And I keep on asking myself, do they really achieve those goals? So what do you believe are the kind of controls or measures people can kind of adopt in terms of measuring their goals as they move along?
Yeah. All right. So for me, it's important to write down things. And I don't know if I've always had New Year resolutions, but I've always had like a vision board. Okay. And I've always had things that, you know what, this year I want to work towards X, Y, Z. I also give myself targets, by the way. Okay. Because I'm in business. So growth is important to me personally. Yes. So I will give myself targets. You know, my husband likes to say that everybody is in sales. Whether we like it or not, so there is a sales element in all of us. Whether you are a receptionist, whether you are working as a makeup artist, you do have sales element in your area of work. So as a business, it's important that I do write my own targets, that by this particular month, I need to have grown by this much. I need to have achieved this much. In my own spiritual journey, I will have a specific targets that I would like to have read this number of books. These are the books I would like to read. This is how much I would like my prayer life to have grown this year. In my family, the amount of time I spend with my family, what I'm teaching my children. So those things, I've always written them down. And every year end, it's funny because as we were getting in here, I was trying to get a picture of a rear mirror, but it was epic fail.
You can keep trying, Kelly.
I just wanted to post it and say, you know, as we all look back to what the previous year had taught us, it is important that you start the new one with the front mirror clear and have a direction and have a goal to where you are going the first trimester of the year, the second trimester of the year. Don't just be a person that is just rolling. I made a recording the other day. I said, don't be on autopilot with your life. Plan things. Don't be on, I'm just going to see what 2022 has for me. No, plan. So that at least if it doesn't happen, at least you have already planned and there are things that you're going to achieve just mainly by planning and making sure that your plans come true.
Yeah. Yes, Kelly, you're talking about books, all right? I like books. I love books. Like, I consume books.
Wow, okay.
Just for our viewers, which books would you recommend for this year?
Yo. There are so many books that I would recommend. I mean, mainly it depends on what the person wants to achieve, but mainly, maybe let me talk about business.
Yes.
My favorite book, I read this book, I don't know how many times, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Steve Covey. That book is actually my Bible.
Okay.
And, there is another book, The 10-Day MBA. Please get that book.
Dynamic book.
They're not paying me to tell you this, but I can tell you for free. Please get that book. And funny enough, Who Moved My Cheese?
Who Moved My Cheese?
Get that book.
Who moved my cheese? Driza, you've moved my cheese, lady.
I tell you. And actually, that's one of the books that I've recommended for my son. Even for parents there, make sure that you buy books for your children. It's very important.
All right, but Kelly, you're running a voluntary business. Very difficult to run because remember, there's no salary, there's no payment. We just come because we want to come. All right. Then, as a leader, how do you take people along?
Okay, so that's also another beautiful question because
all my questions are beautiful.
I'm so biased. Okay, your next question is gonna be beautiful. It's a very important question as well because a lot of people always ask me, how long are you doing YWSA? Okay, now it's been 5 years. It was on the 23rd of October last year, we celebrated our 5th birthday. And they were like, so when you get started, what were the challenges and the financial challenges? Have you overcome them now? And how much money are you making? Are you taking a salary? I'm like, where? So for me, it's important in a way that I have managed to actually recruit people that have a mindset like mine, where we all realize that it's our platform to give back.
Yeah.
It's our platform. Yes, we want the government to come on board. We want the sponsors to come on board. But in the meantime, if they are not around, we here. And we can make a difference. We're not going to keep quiet if there's a child who doesn't have school shoes when we are working big sisters. You know what I mean? We're not going to keep quiet if there's a child who doesn't have sanitary towels. We're not going to keep quiet if somebody doesn't have a jersey or doesn't have a meal. We here. So in that sense, I've managed to be surrounded by queens that have the same vision as me, that they need to, this space is for them to give back their time, their energy, and their resources, and sometimes, most of the time, their finances.
Kelly, you've touched on something very dynamic earlier on to say, as a leader, you need to have clear purpose and direction. And that comes back in terms of you crafting the strategy for your organization. I always say there's so much power in co-creation. So what I'm trying to understand here, how do you embrace inclusion and making sure that as you come up with your strategy, you allow your people to co-create with you, Because when people co-create with you, they take ownership. They feel more being part of it. And that's when they will come and add value and walk the journey and embracing your vision heartbeat. So how do you do it?
I love that.
Oh, finally. You've got a question. You've got a beautiful question.
I love that. And, because like I said, that everybody at YWSA has a voice. Everybody understands that this platform is not Kelly's platform. This platform is living beyond Kelly, by the way. Okay. So this platform is a platform that allows people, women of any wherever they are in life, to be able to be part and be able to be heard and be able to voice out their voices or their vision that they have within the organization. I mean, some of the things that we've done, even as an organization, they were not even designed by me. Our logo, our tagline, the events that we do, a lot of things. It's just it's a collective work that comes together. So I would say that in that regard, people have bought into that I contribute this much into this organization. Therefore, it's my organization as well. So I'm part of it. I'm part of something way bigger. I'm part of something that will outlive all of us. As I've said, that it's a women's initiative. So we've come together and we said, let's create a place where we can empower each other, learn from each other, which will outlive all of us. I want one day when I'm long gone for everybody to remember that, there was a Kelly Taylor that really changed the game when it comes to how women came together and did business and empowered each other. And
let's hold it right there, Kelly. There you are. You've heard it for yourself. Co-creation. We do it together collectively. We embrace inclusion. Let's take a break. still rolling with the gorgeous Kelly here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Again and again.
Yeah.
Kelly, in all honesty, NPO is a difficult organization to run. I want to be honest with you.
Yes. And I agree.
You do agree, ne?
Yeah.
The vital thing in any business is communication, all right? Because for me, the golden thread that, connects everything together.
Yeah.
How do you go about it?
Thank you. And not just only in business or in the NPO, I mean in relationships as a whole. Communication doesn't go out of fashion because, if somebody can't communicate, then there's something wrong there. There's something that is not going right. But if somebody is struggling to communicate, you have to then rope them in and teach them that, there are certain things that work much better if you just say them up front. You're not able to come to a meeting. Let's say, for instance, today you weren't able to come and have this show with us, but you don't say anything. So it's already, she's already going to feel that, one, you don't respect her, and two, you don't value the show, but if you communicate that I'm stuck somewhere or this has happened, I'm not able to come, then she knows that she's running solo. She needs to run the show, and the energy will be there. So communication for me is a factor that we cannot do anything without, be it in business, be it in our relationships. We need to be communicating, and if you know that you struggle with communicating, empower yourself. We talked about books. Read on communication. I mean, today we live in an era where there's internet. Be on the internet and be on YouTube watching videos to see how you can improve on your communication. So it's very important that you, as a person, one of the things that are strong about you is your communication skills.
Okay.
So,
just a follow-up question. Communication for me, it's like bread and butter and everything, You better eat it every day.
Yeah.
Normally, you have different levels in terms of hierarchy in the business and in your organization.
Yeah.
How do you make sure that me as Morongwe, at that lower level, I get the same message as Lady A being the executive of the company? The message is the same.
Yeah.
How do you make sure?
Well, I guess also it's different with us because, like I said, it's not even like the hierarchy, but maybe it's just like the leaders and people that are members
The flat
who are
structure.
actually quite equal. But also at the same time, I have to be that person that the same way if I'm delivering a message to the leaders meeting, it has to be the same manner, the same energy, the same style, the same tone to everyone else who's part of Young Wives. I cannot then say I'm going to prioritize the leaders because, they leaders or they my support structure. But then when it comes to the members, who, by the way, are the core people of the existence of the organization, then I lose my plot. Then I don't show interest. Then I don't have the same energy. Then I don't have the same structure that I had when I was talking to the leader. So I'm that person that has to have the same, pace, the same structure, the same everything towards everybody, and treat everybody equally at the same time.
Okay, I know you're a guest. I know you're a guest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this one to Lady A.
Yeah.
Because I want the viewers to really understand the structured way of communication and how the same message gets to the lower levels. Because normally I will hear a message that says we're not getting an increase.
Yes.
Yeah. But the lower levels will get some other message.
Yeah.
Which is not that clear.
A different message.
Yeah.
Different
Okay.
message.
Yeah.
Yes. Lady A, can you just,
Because I think, Kelly, as a woman who's driving your organization, you need to be more open-minded because there are a lot of people that can be interested. Maybe let me dice the question a bit.
Yes.
Where you can find yourself having that you are attracting people in your organization who are disabled.
Yes.
People who can't see, people who can't hear.
Yes.
And I think you need to be strategic prior. Don't wait for those people to learn, but let your strategy embrace diversity,
Yes.
so that you are able to be proactive in how you structure your organization. Then when you find yourself that you've got a blind person who can't see or a person who can't hear, and that person feels like, I'm not really welcome here. So what would you do if God graced you with such group of people and it's like it's a boom, boom, they land in your space? How are you going to handle this, Kelly?
I don't even think
Because
it would
we
be,
serve a God of inclusion.
Yeah, I don't even think for me it will be a shock, because I live in a country where all those people are loved and they are in my space and they are they are around me and, I go to church with them.
Yeah.
So if they are actually starting to show interest to young wives, we will definitely, accommodate them. We will definitely give them the right structure within the organization. They'll definitely fit in. For instance, if somebody can't see, that will mean maybe now we need to translate our digital messages into braille.
Yeah.
Or if somebody can't hear. I have a very close friend of mine who's a sign language interpreter. Actually, she's has always wanted to do an event with me, and then we will get those people. We will make sure that it's there. We're not doing it now, I must say, but it is something to look into. It is something that we can definitely live and survive in the organization. We'll cope. It will not we'll take a setback. We'll definitely be able to live by that change, and we'll adapt greatly.
Okay. Can I understand that your organization is a non-profit organization,
Yes, ma'am.
and versus the profit organization, it's something else?
Yes.
Because on the other hand, we kind of look at how employees can have an impact in terms of bottom line.
Yes.
But in your space, it's a different territory, it's a different animal altogether.
Yes.
How do you still encourage your people to make sure that they embrace performance?
Yeah.
They run this vision with you as vision runners, because
Yeah.
I think more in your space, it's more about influence, it's more
Yes.
about impact.
Yes, yeah.
How do you kind of drive them?
Yeah, so basically we try to meet as often as we can, and we'll have sessions where we talk about the vision and we talk about who's doing what and where you at, and we'll try and recruit as well other people, because also we don't want to be that all girls clique, Okay. Yeah, so you'll find that even within the organization itself, there are still people that are being recruited to outsource, There are still people that will feel, within us, there's nobody who's really good at capturing notes or at capturing a detailed article for newspapers, should they want our story, for the blog or whatever. Then we'll be able to recruit somebody to come in and just really, take that portion, for instance. So it's not a clique per se to say that, those are our leaders, they do their own thing. No, we still include everybody. And within the leaders as well, we have regular sessions where we motivate each other, we call each other, we check on each other to say, hey, Morongwe, are you still running the race? Are you still passionate? Do you still even have time for what we're doing? And, from time to time, I also have one-on-one sessions with the different ladies as well, just to check on them and to make sure that we're all still running in the same race as well.
Kelly, where do the viewers find you? How
do
can
we
they
find
access
you?
The gorgeous Kelly.
All right, so basically on social media, across all social media platforms, it's at Young Wives SA. So you will find me there. You can send me a DM. The contact details are there, as well as our email address. It's there. And my email address is kelly@youngwivessa.co.za. You can connect with me there as well.
Maybe let's allow you to close the show for us today. What do you want to say to our viewers? Since it's a new year, people, they look forward to their dreams and making sure that things happen. Empower them. There you are.
I pray that you have an awesome new year. Happy New Year, everybody. I pray that it becomes a good one for you, and work towards growing yourself at your own pace. Remember, if the grass is greener on the other side, so is maintenance. Never measure yourself with someone else's success. Yours is right there in front of you on your lane, and there's no competition. Shut your ears to what's happening, to the noise on the left and the noise on the right, and focus on yourself. You have 12 beautiful months ahead of you, and you can certainly achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Thank you.
That's it. Here we go. From Ladies in Heels, we empower.
You deliver.